Okay, we're going to start a unit on circle, and today we're going to start with vocabulary. You're going to learn the different parts of a circle before we can talk about all the different things we can do. So here are some basic parts: center, chord, diameter, radius, point of tangency, common external tangent, a common internal tangent, and a secant. We're going to use this diagram and going to connect the terms with the notations. So before we start, there's a teeny tiny thing here where you see how there's a segment AB here and another AB here. This AB is a line, so it actually needs arrows at the end. It's not super obvious, but it should be there. Same thing with DE. DE should have arrows at the end of the line. I think that's all. If I take a quick look. Oh, there's another one that has it. It's just not obvious. The FH up here. So FH should also have arrows at the end, all right? Okay, so I am going to go ahead and take a look. I'm going to go over the vocabulary, and you should probably pause the video as we go along so you can write down the vocab. So there's not enough time for you to just let the video roll and write down all the definition, all right? Okay, so first word is center. What is the center? In this picture, we have two circles. This is a center and this is a center. So either C or G could be a good answer. Since the only option here is C, then C is my center. All right, so what is the center? Center is the middle of the circle, right? It's a middle point and then a point in the middle of the circle. So that will be my definition for center, a point in the middle of the circle. All right. If you have your own words that can describe this better, then please put in your own words so you can remember this better, okay? Chord, what is that defined as a chord? A chord is a segment, so it needs to end. It's a segment that goes through the circle at 2 points, but it doesn't necessarily go through the center. So while this could be a chord because it goes through the circle at 2 points, it touches the circle at 2 points, it went through the center. So you're really looking for something like this, AB right here, where it goes through one end to the other, but it never goes through the center of the circle. So it's a segment, it has to stop. So it has to be this AB right here because this is a segment. All right, so chord is that. And my definition is a chord is a segment inside the circle touching at 2 points, but not through the center. Now, if it's a segment that's inside a circle touching at 2 points, but actually goes through the center, then it is our diameter. So a diameter is a segment through the center touching at two opposite sides of the circle. So it goes from one end to the other and goes through the center. So this AD is my diameter. If I take a quick look over here, AD is my diameter, okay? A radius is half of that. So radius goes from the center to the edge. So there are many, many radii here. You have AC, CD, CH, FG, and GE. These are all radius. So radii. So then I would say CD is my radius because this is the only option here. And a radius is a segment that goes from the center to the edge of the circle. Okay. Point of tangency, this is a fun one. Tangency means that it touches at one point. So like say, for example, you and your friend are chatting and then you guys go off on a tangent. It is because at some point in your conversation, the topics touched and met at one point and then it goes off somewhere else, right? So the idea is that point of tangency is where a circle has an object outside touching it at one point. So this is a point of tangency. This is a point of tangency. See how this line right here touches the circle at one point? This is also a point of tangency where this circle touches this line at one point, and this is also a point of tangency. So H, D, F, or E are all points of tangency, and the only option I have here is D, so that is my point of tangency. So a quick way to describe that is a point on the circle that touches another object, right? A point, a single point, okay? So what is a common external tangent? It is when two circles are touched outside by one single line, and the circles are touched so that they're all on the same side of the line. So this is my common external tangent right here. This tangent touches the big circle and the small circle, both at one point, and notice how they're all on one side of the circle. They're both on the top side of the line, sorry. So that is a common external tangent. So DE is my common external tangent. That's right down here. And again, this was a little bit harder to describe. So if you have a better definition, you should write that down. I said it's one tangent line that touches both circles, touches both circles on the same side. So both circles are on the same side. They're both on the top side or they're both on the bottom side. So what happens when they're not both on the same side? Well, then this is a common internal tangent. So a common internal tangent looks like this line here, HF here, where see how it touches the circle at one point, also touches the small circle at one point. But then notice how the circles, one is on the left and one is on the right. So this is a common internal tangent. So HF all the way up there is my common internal tangent. And it's a tangent line that touches both circles, one circle on each side. Okay. Lastly is a secant. Secant is a very cool one. Secant is just an extension of the chord. It is a line that goes through the circle at 2 points. So this line all the way through AB with an arrow is my secant. It's a line that goes through the circle at 2 points. So you should pause here. Make sure you have all your definition down correct. Sorry for the typo there, but this should be your definition. All right. Okay. Now moving on. Which figure shows an arc? What is an arc? An arc is a piece of the outside of the circle. So a piece of the outside, the circumference, the distance around the circle, if you only just want a piece of it, it would be this one right here. This is an arc, right? It's just that really darkened piece right there. Right? If you want the whole thing, that would be your circumference. Okay. Which figure shows a central angle? Well, let's break down the vocabulary. Central angle means it's an angle in the center. So first of all, which one of these should look like an angle? This is only one. And secondly, is it starting from the center of the circle? Yes. So this is a central angle. All right. Which figure shows a semicircle? A full circle is all the way around. Semicircle only halfway. This one was too much of a halfway. This one looks about half. This one's a radius, and this one's an arc because it looks like it's not halfway. So this is my semicircle. Okay. So then the example question here says the diameter of a circle is 12 inches. What is a radius? Radius is half of that. So half of 12 would give me 6 inches. All right. Once you're done with this, make sure you go on to IXL assignment U1 and complete it. Okay, that's it.